Who gives a stranger something without expecting something in return? You know, that's honestly a very good question. It's one of many questions that people will ask themselves throughout their lives, because sometimes people will just give a stranger something and not expect anything in return. They could give them change if they need it. They could give them a ride to a far off town if they're just stuck somewhere. Maybe they'll want to let them sleep in their house, sleep with their wife or significant other. It doesn't matter. They'll never expect anything from you, but more often than not, people do expect something from you. So somebody's going to give you something that you didn't expect. You're not sure what the motivations are. You might be just asking yourselves and searching for these answers, going to the very ends of the earth, trying to discover what kind of person would give a stranger something, not expect anything in return. That's at the very, very tippy top of questions in life. Right below that's the meaning of life, and so many other questions that you will be looking for the answers for, combing every goddamn nook and cranny of Trinket Box, a Tubi original written and directed by Patricia Keppa and Corey White. I really hope I pronounced those names correctly. If not, I do apologize. Check out their IMDb pages for the full listings of their work, and also written by Felipe Sonares. Again, hope I pronounced that one right. So, Corey White also stars as Mike, a loving, devoted husband who is also an African-American man who married a white woman named Eva Avita Zane, played by Augie Duke. And it centers around these particular people, and also an older lady named Judith. I was dreaming, and then suddenly Judith Light appeared, if you get that reference. I love you guys. Sandra Ellis LaFerty. And we basically have an interracial couple living in Alabama. In the present day, racism is still very, very prevalent and relevant, and it is bullshit. The people are judged solely on their skin tone. You shouldn't judge anybody based on their outward appearance. Stop judging people based on their skin tone. Honestly, we are all human. We're all fucking human. Now, if we're evil on the inside, let's judge people based on that, but let's stop judging people based on their skin tone. That is something that this movie tries to present as one of its few ideas, and that's fine. That is something that absolutely should be discussed in horror, in dramas, thrillers, whatever, in historical pieces. Everybody should know history. Everybody should learn from history, not be doomed to repeat it. And yeah, this features quite a bit of racism. Sometimes it hits you over the goddamn head, but then again, given the involvement of the people, they wanted to present that in the best way possible. And yes, we have this loving couple. They move into this house that also is steeped in tragedy. And a particular thing shows up a little bit later that leads to more hauntings and loud noises and a lot of darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Oh, we're going to do these nighttime scenes again. I can't really see a fucking thing because nobody bothered to pay the electrical bill in this wing. Okay, so when it comes to Tubi originals, you're going to get one of three types of movies. You're going to get something really shocking that actually may be pretty goddamn good, really quality, indie horror or otherwise. Tubi is a great ad-based streaming service. No, I'm not sponsored. I just like to plug it. If you can put up with ads, you get some good originals. There have been some good originals. I've also watched some stuff that was, quite frankly, dog shit that made me question my existence on this planet and why the hell films were ever made. And that's category number 2. Category number 3 is something that's a bit of category number 2, but it's so laughably bad that you just can't help but say, man, you fucking guys, what the hell were you thinking? But man, I was entertained by the bad dialogue and by the bad acting and the bad direction and the bad everything. And this movie was about almost an hour and 45 minutes and had about that much material. Basically, as a short film, it would have worked a whole lot better. I will illustrate. We had a particular thing that happened in the beginning, taking place in Clayton, Alabama in 1936, where there was a lady that had a tryst with an African-American individual. It did not end all that well, and tragedy struck that particular land. And then also, there is a certain thing that happened that led to another death in that particular family. And in present day, we have Ava and Mike, who they claim to be a loving couple. They are characterized as a loving couple. They're arguing almost immediately moving into the house. And then certain things happen where like, oh my God, we may be able to start a family, and more arguing, and they're going from this part of the pendulum to up and woo, 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 woo. And sure, there's a supernatural element to it, but even before that's introduced, you have to question how these people were able to be in the same zip code and deal with each other. And look, I don't wish ill upon any of the people that directed, wrote, or starred in this. there wasn't a big cast. I do want to say that. I don't wish any ill. I hope they grow and do bigger and better projects. This movie is atrocious on almost every conceivable level. Neat little ideas that could have worked. Again, the racism aspect and a few other things. But the problem is the nighttime scenes, and I thought it was my TV, but no. I even checked my computer. I even checked the Tubi app on my goddamn phone. And no, it's just the same goddamn thing. And other people have complained it is really hard to see what the hell's going on here, so I just don't think they bothered to light it. Making nighttime scenes dark, making them darker doesn't help. Making them darker does not make it scarier. It just makes it stupid and inept. This was terrible. This was a terrible effort. This is one of those Tubi originals where I'm like, you have got to be fucking kidding me. There were times I turned the tint up on my goddamn TV to try to see these nighttime scenes. And I'm like, oh boy, okay, this is really bad, and let's get out of these nighttime scenes, and then we get to the bad acting, and I'm like, okay, movie, I'm sorry, plunge me back into darkness, please, anything to get me away from the bad acting. The music was a choice. I don't know how in the world they thought these particular songs or instrumentals or whatever it was, and again, I'm not even knocking the budgetary constraints. The music choices were weird, like, what? How did that fit that particular truck fixing scene? How did some of that, why do you use softcore porn music for a goddamn shower scene? What the hell? And this writing, I'm sorry, but this was terrible. Maybe it's the first decent sized project for most of these people. Again, hopefully they can do bigger and better things, but good fucking grief. What an atrocious movie. And the conclusion, it's like, okay, the conclusion, it was obvious. It was obvious what the hell was going on from the very beginning. This is why you don't trust old ladies that think you might be eyeing their lemon drink. The fact that the happening actually made me laugh more than this is saying something. This was terrible. It presents some questions, such as, how the fuck did this get made? Why the fuck did it get made? And again, hopefully everybody can go on and do bigger and better projects. This was terrible, absolutely terrible. Check out Tubi if you want to watch it. You may laugh with some friends. You may question your mere existence. But nevertheless, let's get into spoilers. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay, the old lady, Sandra, was Judith from the previous 20-minute intro, where a young girl named Marianne spotted her sister Judith and an African-American man in bed. And the dad wasn't very happy about that. Since they're in Clayton, Alabama in 1936, nope, that didn't go all that well. The brothers get involved, chase him down, beat them up. This guy has a knife, and he slashes the dad's throat when the dad tries to attack him. Fair, the dad was a racist dick, and that's what racists deserve, by the way. But then it plunges us into darkness. This girl finds this little trinket box thing, hence the title, opens it, puts on this necklace, and then it possesses her, and then she snaps, and this demonic entity comes out, I think. You can't tell what the fuck is happening in this. You can't tell. You just have to assume that you know. But, then we smash cut to present day. Ava and Mike are gaining a new house, and also we did see, earlier scenes of a guy cleaning up the house and everything. Gee, I wonder what the fuck he's doing. I wonder how he's goddamn involved. That was before the flashback to 1936. And then old Judith appears, not Judith Light, says, here's a box. Here's a gift. And it's a necklace. The necklace is haunted. The same necklace her sister got. And then, Mike asks who gives a stranger something without expecting something in return. The couple keeps arguing. And then they have a shower scene where Ava ends up pregnant. And also possessed because she's got this necklace on. Smartly, Mike eventually gets rid of this goddamn thing. And then, this is before Ava keeps getting worse. She finally decides to go visit the doctor. These are after numerous nighttime scenes, nightmare scenes, stuff to pad and stretch this goddamn thing out. The jump scares were atrocious. There was a double nightmare scene at one point. Wakes up from a nightmare and then wakes up from a nightmare within a nightmare. Lazy. Fucking lazy. Anyway, So eventually she goes to the doctor. It turns out the doctor tells her she's pregnant. What? Shocking. I think they filmed this in an actual doctor's office and may have used an actual doctor. I know they didn't use an actor, and if they use an actor, I'm sorry, they should have done another take. I'm getting the feeling they just did one take for every single goddamn scene. It seems like it, because good God, if you did another take and that's the one you went with, this will not end is what I wrote down. The double nightmare scene. The music is shit. Judith pops up occasionally. Before she goes to the doctor, Ava does. She says, hey, I got some home remedies. And then, Ava's hearing voices. They were going to go visit her parents. They never get to that point. It's like if Paranormal Activity was directed by sea cucumbers, is what I wrote. Sea cucumbers that were cut in half, that are about to die. Calm, but I just hate when movies, are lazy like this. Good grief. Anyway, Mike finds some old pictures of the goddamn old family, I think. He can't see. And then, Ava's searching for him, finds him. He ends up killing her. She ends up dying. He ends up killing her. And then it turns out Judith has all this research, and she's looking for other interracial couples to kill. Why? Because she lost her significant other because he killed her dad. Now she's taking revenge, even though she's the fucking one that got her dad killed. She got her dad killed. And then the guy's cleaning up and everything, and that's all done, and that's it. And that's it. Terrible. Trinket box is terrible. Should have been Tinker box. Should have put Tinkerbell in a goddamn box. I don't know what I'm on about. This is, God, absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific that this got made. Again, hope everybody goes on and do bigger and better things, but my God, the lack of effort, the just unbelievable ineptitude with the nighttime scenes and so much stuff. What was this? F. And it's still not one of the worst things I've seen this year. At least not in the top 10. I'll still watch this over Sleeping Beauties because, good God, I mean, you could at least, pretend stuff is happening in nighttime scenes. Nothing happened in Sleeping Beauty. Whatever. If agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rentlin. I'll see you soon.